What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Philly2Detroit Boxing. We got another very special guest on today. We got Steven So Cold Nelson. What's going on, man?
Oh, what's up, man? I'm doing good, man. Enjoying this good Sunday. Happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Facts.
Definitely happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there doing their thing, man. But, definitely happy to have you on, champ. Appreciate you for taking the time out your day to come on with us. We just getting started, so we do appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, Yeah, man. So really, let's hop right into it, man. I've seen that you really not too far into your boxing career for real. You 18-0, 15 knockouts, but you just really had your professional debut in 2016. You started boxing when you was in the army at 21. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I was in the army and I was stationed in North Carolina, and I just decided just to do something, different. I just wanted to, do something that's gonna be fun. I was like, you know what? I always wanted to box, and this is back in 2010, and I found a local gym. It was ABC Boxing Academy, and I started going, and like I caught on quick, because I do a lot of different things, and I just catch on to them real fast, and boxing just caught my attention, went up from there, and by the time 2012, I was Olympic alternate. I was on the 2012 Olympic team, and I was after the Olympics, I came back, and those guys went pro. I stayed amateur, and I was the number one guy for the following 4 years until I went pro. After that, winning all the big national tournaments and everything, from ringside to nationals, the national Golden Gloves, the national pals, national title, everything. I won everything. So I went pro in 2016, and now I'm 18-0, 15 knockouts, and trying to continue my career after coming back from a 2 year layoff from an injury.
Right, right. And then, like, could you tell us a little bit about the injury too? What went on with that? And then, how is your recovery? How was your recovery? I know you seem ready right now. How was your recovery getting
Oh
back into it
yeah,
and just
I tore my Achilles. I was I didn't do nothing wrong as far as like movement or anything or twisting or anything. Where I went wrong was I was doing so much stuff every day, going to school, training twice a day. I had a handyman business. I'm on my feet all day, barely getting any rest, not recovering, not stretching. So my body and my muscles was tight. And one day I was just training, moving around, and didn't feel nothing. All of a sudden, I heard a loud pop. It sounded like a wooden board broke. Pop! Everybody stopped. Like, what was that sound? Like, I thought I was in the ring. I thought I like broke the ring or something. But then I'm like, wait, hold on. And I took a step, and it felt like I was walking down the hill, kind of like off of a curb. And it was just like, oh man, I tore my Achilles. I went and got emergency surgery the following day and repaired it. But I was like, in my mind, I'm like, man, I gotta take care of my body, and I gotta come back from this. I can't let this be the end of my career.
All right.
And I just dedicated myself to, going to physical therapy, actually listening to the doctors and my physical therapists. Like, you gotta rest, you gotta take care of your body, you gotta recover, you gotta do these certain exercises and stretches every day. And I just make sure I did them.
Okay. I was going I see that Bomac your head trainer if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna ask how did that opportunity come about? You linking up with Bomac.
Man, I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. I grew up friends with Bud, but I never boxed. Everybody just knew Bud to be the boxer, and he hung out around the streets with me and stuff. We hung out and everything. So once I started boxing, that was, it was no question about it. That's where I need to
Yeah.
be at, But I was staying in San Diego, and I was being trained by a different trainer, Bashir Abdullah. He's a four-time Olympic coach and stuff. He was an Army coach as well, so I was in the Army too. But then when I moved from San Diego, I moved back to Omaha, for my family and and for my boxing career. And I had already been working with Bo Mack and been knowing them. We like a brotherhood. I was already around them and been knowing them for years. So it was inevitable for us to be a team.
How did the top rank opportunity come about? Was that something that Bo Mack hooked up or a
Yeah,
man
yeah.
team?
Yep, that was something Bo Mack hooked up because he Bud was already signed with them, so
Yeah.
it was a no brainer. It was easy for them to be like, hey, we got this other kid coming up, Steve Nelson. What I mean, told them my background and everything. They was like, oh yeah, and they gave me some fights, and it was like, okay, yeah, we like him, and I was signed. I was signed to Top Rank, but I parted ways with Top Rank last year,
Okay.
around September last year. And I just been free agent, and that's what I'm working on now. Just being free agent, and trying to find the best opportunity for my career, for my next chapter in my career.
Okay.
Right. And then going, off the next chapter of your career, you just had your first fight at 175 back in December. How was that weight change? And do you think, that's something you're comfortable with going forward? Do you want to stay at 175 or do you want to go back to 168 and campaign a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I've always, fought heavier. I've always, like in the amateurs, I fought 178. So fight 175 wasn't nothing. It was like tough getting down to 168. I plan on going back to 168. I just did 175 just so I didn't, because my first fight back from my injury, I didn't have to worry about trying to get down to 168. So my plan is to go to 168, win some titles, and then eventually move back to 175. But I'm open to take fights at 68, 75. It don't matter. 7 pound difference. I'm a crack at either one. And yeah, so that's the plan.
Right, and then I also saw you got your NABO belt in 2020. Could you tell us a little bit about that? And because a lot of people they don't know or they sleep on the NABO sanctioning body, but there's some killers in there too, man. Like, could
Yeah,
you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah. Well, the NABO is like the interim title for the WBO.
WBO, right? Yeah.
So the NABO was open for me to grab, and I was supposed to be, for my injury was to get the NABO, and then campaign to get a world title fight for the WBO. Um, but the injury happened, so I ended up losing my NABO to Edgar Edgar Belonga and stuff. I've been wanting to fight him,
I was going to bring that up
but
later. In the interview.
he ain't trying to get no wreck, man. So yeah, so I'm just campaigning right now, trying to get a title, or at least put myself in position to fight for a title, because I don't want to keep fighting these fights where I'm expected to win. I want to fight some names. I want to fight some bigger names, some people that they're like, okay, this dude is really good. He the truth, because a lot of people sleep on me because they haven't seen what I'm capable of doing and everything. People who know me know like what I can do. It's time for me to, put that out there to the world to show them like that I'm here.
I was going to ask you, when you was going through the injury, was it hard mentally to deal with seeing guys in your weight class fighting, knowing that if the 2 year layoff didn't happen, you probably would be in position to fight for a title. You probably would have already fought for a title.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I mean, I look at everything like stuff happened for a reason, And at that time, it was going to be hard for me to get fights to fight for a title anyway, because that's when Canelo was making his run to be undisputed. And he was only fighting people who had titles already. And now he got a title, so it's hard to get those fights. So look at like everything happened for a reason. And I was just sitting back, like, man, my time is gonna come. And I found like new likings and other things, like I was doing stand-up comedy, I was learning how to fly planes, I was just focus on that, focus on recovering and not beat myself up about getting injured.
Um, I was going to ask you, where do you kind of get your boxing style from? Because to be a bigger guy, you kind of light on your feet. You kind of like
Yeah.
you're not flat footed. You move on your toes.
Yeah.
place you punch. Like you're very skilled for a bigger person. Where do that come from?
I feel like I always felt like I'm gonna take a little bit from everybody that I like, anybody in boxing that I enjoy, and I want to be like the word pound for pound comes from being good at whatever weight class you at, no matter if you're small or big. So I try to emulate this anybody and don't look at okay, I'm just gonna watch the guys that's 175 and 168. I'm gonna watch the guys that's 126 and 147 all the way up. I'm gonna take a little bit from everybody. And you know, in my career, since I've been boxing, I've always sparred Bud because for his weight, he's strong. He's strong. People don't know that. He's like they don't understand that. Like he's strong, he punch hard. So it was always hard to find sparring for him. So I was always like his number one sparring guy. And I'm fighting 175 and we in there going. Like he keeping up with me with the power. So that caused me like, okay, he's smaller and he moving quick and agile. I gotta do the same thing. So I used to be in there trying to be quick and move and bouncing in and out. But I've always, even before, sparring with Bud, I've always been quick on my feet. Always been like always competing with the guys, no matter their weight class, no matter how big or small they are.
Right. And then what's been like your motivations, man, just to like really stay at it? Like you said, you 18-0, 15 KOs. That obviously is a motivation in itself to keep going and obviously not get no L's or whatnot. But obviously, you just had a big injury that could have brought some people down. Like, man, you know what I mean? Just things like that. What keeps you going? What keeps you motivated to be the best boxer you can be?
Yeah, I'm like that with anything in life. Anything I put my mind to, or I say I'm gonna do it, I don't stop doing it until I accomplish those goals that I had set. I'm not gonna go until something that say you can't do this no more. Until I just can't do it no more, that's when I'm like, all right, I gotta hang it up. But if I still got the power in me to do it, I'm not gonna quit because I always would hate to look back and say what I could have done or what I could have been. Okay. I rather look up and be like, man, I tried, but it didn't work. I tried my hardest. I gave everything I had, but it didn't work. Versus like, damn, if I didn't quit, where would I be at? That's the worst feeling.
Yeah. And then kind of going on a little lighter note, man, what kind of got you into the comedy videos, man? I've been watching a lot of your videos all morning, kind of getting ready for the interview and whatnot. Like, what kind of got you into that? Was it more of a becoming marketable thing, or what was that?
No, I've always been goofy, man. Growing up, I was always a class clown. I was always goofy, but I never like displayed it and put it out there because like people would label it as, "Oh, you childish." Yeah. But then I realized, like, no, I'm not childish. I'm a comedian. I like the laugh. I like the fun. And I know how comedy makes me feel. When I was injured or anytime I've been down, watching comedy, people making me laugh, that always took me from here to here. It always took my spirit up. So I try to do the same thing for other people. That's why I post, skits in the morning. People are like, man, it's too early to be laughing. No, it ain't. It ain't never too early to laugh. It's going to start your day off good.
I say, have you been in contact with any other promoters like Golden Boy or Showtime, or how about BLK Prime? Because I seen you fought on there already.
Yeah, I mean, I've fought BLK Prime. I've sent like little birds out and stuff to PBC and Golden Boy and everything, but it's gonna take for me to get in there and show what I can do to prove that I'm worthy of them signing me, because a lot of times a promoter look at, dang, he like 34, 18-0, like it's hard for them to believe in somebody because I'm not the average 34-year-old. I started at 21, so I'm not beat down, I'm not burnt out at 34. So, I just got to show them. I got to show them for them to be like, okay, yeah, we want that dude.
Oh no, I was gonna say, going off that like promotional things, like, is there do you have like, I guess, a timeline of when you're trying to get back in the ring?
Yeah, I'm looking at right now. I'm in talks to get back in the ring. late July right now.
Okay.
I have that with a couple different promoters. They all talking about July, so I'm just staying ready right now. And the best opportunity that come forth is what I'm gonna go with. But I'll be ready for July. I'm gonna fight in July.
Right. And then kind of going backwards too, we talked about the promotional companies as far as Golden Boy, BLK Prime, and things like that. What did you think of BLK Prime? Because we haven't heard too much about them since y'all fought on that card.
Yeah,
So what do you think about them as a whole, as a company?
yeah. BLK Prime, they have the right intentions. They want to do big things for fighters. They're not stingy with the funds and or none of that. But right now they're just trying to build. So it's going to take for them to continue to put on shows, which they're doing. They're doing a whole bunch of shows like in Costa Rica and stuff right now. And they're going to start this new this new program they're going to start doing. They're going to start doing fights like every week. So that's what's going to take them to put them up there with Golden Boy and PBC and Top Rank and stuff like that. They got to stay consistent because they have the right people. They got the right mindset, and they want to take care of the fighters. So it's all about consistency. They got to consistently do it.
Right. And did you have a good experience fighting on that card?
Yeah, I had a great experience. I don't have any bad words for them. They had everything in order. They was willing to work with us in so many ways. They was open, like like for advice from us fighters, for our coaches, from our managers. They was open. They had an open ear. Like, okay, let's make this work.
Right. So as far as like it's just a company on the come up, they doing the right things pretty
Yep,
much.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just like a new company. You gotta just keep consistently putting out good content,
Mm-hmm.
putting on good fights.
Where did the what did the idea of the ring entrances to be like so
Oh,
flashy come from? I seen all your ring entrances. You always add your little own twist to it, add your little theme to it.
yeah. Yeah, since I went pro, that was always my goal. I was like, you know what? I got to be different, because I make my own uniforms too. So,
Right.
so I can easily make whatever I want. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come out as different characters that inspired me growing up or that I was into growing up. Because I've always
Yeah.
been creative and an artist and everything. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna display this to the world. I'm gonna show them like why I'm so much more than just a good boxer. Anybody, even if you're not into boxing, you can follow me and you can get inspired in so many ways outside of boxing. And that's my goal. Like this is be creative.
Mhm.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to rewind one more time, just to go back to like your pro debut, because obviously you started in
Yeah.
2010. A lot of these guys starting when they babies, you know what I mean? You starting at 21. How was that first pro fight for you? And then you got the first round KO at that. So like,
Yeah,
how was that debut? You know what I mean? How was that first pro debut? And like, the people watching you, just what was that feeling like?
man, it's a whole different vibe when you go out because you the highlight of the show. Everybody is watching you at that time, you know. But the biggest thing I realized was the difference in the gloves. The difference
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what
gloves.
everybody's saying.
Because I
Yeah.
was out there and Bud was like, "Hey man, don't try to hit him hard. This box. Just do what you do." And I'm out there boxing, and I do a double jab too, and I didn't throw it hard. I just threw it like boom, and and I felt my knuckle pierce through the glove and like hit him right on the chin. I was like, "Oh yeah, it's different. This is a different level right here. It's different right here."
No, because I think a lot of people don't get that too. Like them 16 ounces ain't this don't do
Yeah, it's
justice for
different,
when you get.
and like it's like cushion. Like in the amateur, they get a little cushion on, like about 2-3 inches of cushion. But in the
Yeah.
pros, only thing that's protecting your hand is your hand wraps, really. And the glove, man, you can pierce through that mug. You feel it. You like, oh yeah, I'm about to knock somebody's chin in the back of their throat. For real.
Man, who's some guys you want to fight? Like, do you have like I guess a hit list, or is there some names that you would like to see yourself in a ring with?
Yeah, man, like I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem with nobody, because I'm, like I don't put on fake, fake problems with people. But all the top guys, I want to fight the Canelos, the Durrell, any of the Durrell brothers,
Mm-hmm.
freaking Caleb Plant. That's my homie. I'm cool with him, but shit, his name's on top. Benavidez, Edgar. I want to I want to fight him and get him out the way. All those top guys. The guy they call the bully from like Kazakhstan, whatever his name
Oh yeah,
is.
Beck the Bully.
Yeah, him. I want to fight all those guys.
Yeah, smooth him. I ain't.
Moral. I want to fight all of them, man. Like because you ain't gonna show how good you are until you get in there with those guys that everybody's saying that's already good.
Right.
That's the guys I want. Oh, anybody with them names.
I was gonna get into the Edgar Berlanga situation. Was that did something happen to not a beef, but did something happen to make you want to fight anymore? Did you want to fight the average person, or is it just
Yeah,
strictly a boxing thing? Like I just
no,
think I'm
that was straight off of beef because we was in the amateurs together. He was cool. We never had a problem. Even the pros, we was top ranked. We go to fights. We see each other. What's up, bro? What's up? Shake hands and stuff. And then this one day, he like I look up and they got a post on like one of these big boxing pages or ESPN or something, and it was right after I fought. And he said, "Oh, Steven Nelson trash. I'll smash him." I'm like, "What?" Like this dude was like I see
Right.
him all the time, man. He don't never say nothing to me. So, you know, like I'm from the street, so I'm gonna come to you straight up. Like I inbox him, like, man, what you talking about? Like, what's up? What's going on? He like, oh, somebody told me that you called me out. I said, bro, why would I call you out? And at the time, I was ranked like number 11. He was ranked like 20 something. I'm like, dude, why would I call you out and I'm ranked ahead of you? I'm looking at people ahead of me. I'm not gonna call somebody out that's behind me. He said,
right.
"Oh man, my fault, man. I got it all screenshot from DMs. He's like, man, my fault, man. I ain't mean nothing by it." I'm like, yeah, man, because people gonna get you hurt. That's why I said, somebody get you hurt. He said, all right, man. I said, but if we ever have to fight, you already know what's up. Because we got past in the amateurs. I don't put it out there, but we got past in the amateurs. So you already know what's up.
You guys fought each other in the amateurs?
Nah, we didn't fight. He was one of my sparring partners. He know what's up. But like I tell people, I don't judge fighters, especially from the past, like the amateurs and sparring and stuff, because it's different. But I know for a fact, like if we fight, I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash him. I'm gonna smash him for real.
Was that a fight you was pushing for top rank
Yeah, when I
when
was
you
in
were?
top rank, I was asking for all the time, but top, I don't know if it was like top rank would say it was his management say no, and then when I call him out, he'll say something like, "Man, you're older," or just talk stuff like. But they never like made that fight. And I always just asked for that fight.
Is there do you feel like you would still be with top rank if you never tore your Achilles? Do you feel like
Um,
that you had to be out the ring for 24 months, like made them,
well,
or you feel like
that wasn't
that
an issue. That wasn't
right?
an issue for me. For me, being with me and Bud on the same team, when he parted ways, I seen how the energy changed up. They start acting different, acting funny, and I'm like, man, like they were like just kind of hold me back. And I was like, man, this. I asked my manager, man, just tell them to release me, man, so I can, I'd rather be out here looking for some people that believe me than just be sitting on the shelf over here. And he asked them to release me. They released me, so I've been free agent since. That was like August of last year, August September of last year.
Yeah, okay. I must say, being around Bud all these years, what's like the best advice he ever gave you? Well, not even ever gave best advice that you remember that stuck with you in your head.
Man,
I know it's probably a lot, probably hard to think of just
I was
one.
about to say it's so much stuff, man. It's so much stuff he told me, man. I think it's not the things that he's told me advice. It's me being the shadow in his career and watching the things that he went through
Mhm.
and what could have been done better or what he could have done better, and that helped me with my career and what the things to look out for and things not to do and how to promote myself. Those are the biggest things I got from him because he laid the blueprint of how to be pound for pound. He the best. He wanted to be he the best fighter in the world. Um, so that blueprint is there. You got to just follow. You got to stay consistent. Being in training camp. I think the biggest thing that like he's ever said to me, it wasn't necessarily advice. Is
Mhm.
when he came to me one day and he was like, he said, "Bro, man, you inspire me because like everything you want to do, you do it. Everything you say you're going to do, you do it." And that inspired me. And that was one of the biggest things that I've heard come out of his mouth towards me.
Okay.
Like I said, that's dope as hell. Definitely coming from somebody who's, at least from our point of view as fans, it looks like he's done everything as far as in the boxing world that you can possibly do. You know what I mean? So I know that felt probably good as hell, like just hearing that from him too. And
Yeah.
then kind of going off that, is it like I know you probably been in a bunch of gyms throughout your career. Is it different just being in the gym with Bomac and Bud and just kind of
Oh yeah.
feeding off that, just feeding off that number one pound for pound energy. You know what I mean? What is
Yeah.
that like?
It's different, man, especially when well, because I've been around for so long, and it's like we're accustomed to what we do. But when you notice the difference is when other fighters from other gyms, other states come and train with us, and they be like, "Man, like y'all train this hard, y'all do all this, y'all do that, y'all do this. This is dope." But you don't notice it until people point it out. And to be in the gym with us, it's like being in the backyard with your brothers and y'all just out there fooling around, man. Y'all just enjoying it, like what y'all do. Cause it's like I go to other gyms and stuff. It kind of feel like a job, like a task that you doing.
Right.
You know, it don't feel like home. It don't feel good. Everybody in there just in there to work out and get their workout and they go. But in our gym, we in there when we warm up, we joking, we laughing, we playing around, we playing music, we battling over who got the best playlist. It's just like it's a whole brotherhood, man. It's different. And then even when we're not training, when we look at training camp at the house, we playing everything is competition. Everything is playing darts and ping pong and chess and battling on who can wash the dishes the fastest. It's like we always it's like a house full of brothers, dude. Like we arguing, we talk about each other, we talking about each other moms and the whole thing, man. Man, you
The
gotta you gotta be there to know this is different, man.
yeah.
I was gonna ask what some other fighters that you're real close to that you as close with as Bud or some fighters that you speak to on the daily.
This the ones like around our gym, like Shakur Stevenson, he cool. Um, Jamel Herring, he got Maurice Hooker was on our team. Robert Brandt, we had on our team. We've been around. Those are some bigger names. But in the boxing world, it seems so big, but it's small too. But everybody know, everybody met everybody. So yeah, like it's a lot of fighters that I come in contact with.
Good question, because since I got you on here, I just happened to be watching a video, an interview of Brian Norman Jr. yesterday, and they were talking about this
Yeah,
sparring he had with Terrence Crawford. And I was gonna ask you, was you there and seen it in
yeah, I
person?
was there. Man, so you said Brian, I'm like, who is Brian
Like,
Newman?
is
I
they
just,
put too
yeah,
much into it? Like, cause I ain't gonna lie, I found his name off of this is the guy
yeah,
who was giving Bud good work. So I'm like, well, who that? And that's
yeah.
how I got hip to him. So
I
since
mean, I'm
you
gonna
sort of
tell it straight up,
there,
like dude's all right. Dude was surprising. Like
Mhm.
we was down there, went to the gym, we in training camp, middle of training camp, and we went to spar. You know, Bud was already sparring like two other guys. He did like 6, 7 rounds already.
Mhm.
And then Brian came in, and you see a dude with a gym and they got like a title headgear and some, some stuff that don't look like he know what he doing. So we like, oh, okay, yeah, let's let him go in. So Bud in there, he messing around, he in there just moving around. He already did like 6, 7 rounds doing his thing. And then oh boy, Kane, he actually good. All right. Caught Bud with a couple shots. All right, got it. And then Bud turned up to a different level. When
Yeah.
Bud turned to a different level, he's competitive, and then he started cracking him. So it's like they going off of when Bud was just in there chilling, and then once he got out and everybody started talking about it, and his uncles in there talking about he hurt Bud. We like, dude, what are they talking about? Bud was like, you know what? Bring him to camp. They offer out, come to camp. We can pay you to come to camp and come spar for real. And they was like, nah. They turned it down. Like, man,
Hell no.
so
Hell no. Yeah.
it's just one of those situations where it's like, okay, he got a couple good shots in, but it wasn't like he whooped Bud ass and Bud was down and then went up. Like, man, come on, nah. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, I'm like, damn, yeah, he got Bud that day. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like that. Because he surprised me when I told you when he came in, he had like the headgear and stuff. He had like
I be
running shorts on.
seeing little memes about that. That'd be funny when boxers when they feel when people come in with a title,
Yeah,
everything.
oh, I'm about to
He got nothing.
smash
I'm
this
about to go to work.
dude. Yeah, I'm about to smash this dude. But then sometimes you get a dude that got a whole winning set. They got the Nike Hyper KOs on. You like, oh, this dude, he good. And they
Better
come
be
out, you
nice.
like, this nigga just got money because he weak. he got all the best boxing gear because he's got some money. He weak though, but
I was gonna ask you, was you ever in attendance for a Shakur Stevenson and Buzz sparring?
yeah, all the time. I'll
And how,
spar Shakur before.
and
Yeah.
how was yeah, you can OR bet. You can answer both. How was seeing them two spar and how was it sparring Shakur? Because I know that's like high level pay-per-view sparring. Like
yeah, seeing Bud and Shakur fight. I mean, I said fight. Spar, it's like watching a chess match, man. They be in there just doing stuff. You like, damn, you be sitting there like, dang, like they going, you know. And when I spar Shakur, I was just focused on like speed because I'm obviously bigger than him. So I'm like, I'm just going quick. He like, damn, this dude fast. I'm like, bop, bop, bop. I'm going with him and stuff like that. But one time, man, he caught me with like a straight left, like right in my nose. I'm like, oh, I wanted to like start trying to sit down. Hold on, wait. Hey, I turned to a hood dude. I start, what's up, bro? What's up, man? I wanted to fight for real. I was like, man, yeah, but he different, man. Like Shakur, he's special. Like there's certain fighters where you be like, are they good? They can get a little better. But it's some fighters you be like, man, like you don't understand like what he's blessed with. Like, damn, this dude, like timing and his, his IQ along with his like being able to move and agility, like damn, this dude is like really blessed. Like some people are just really blessed with like different attributes like that, and he one of them.
I'm about to say, if I'm not mistaken, your newest stablemate is Keyshawn Davis.
Yep.
How is it seeing him? Because he one of them guys too that seem like he gonna be special.
Yep, he the same way. Like from Bud, next step is Shakur, and then it's Keyshawn. Like Keyshawn, he has that natural ability. He just got get his experience up. Once he get that experience up, it's over for whoever steps in front of him. He different. He do stuff that like where you can't teach it. He do stuff that he just make up, like different movements and different like feints and different things he do. You can't make up. I mean, you can't teach. It's just made up. You're like, dang, he just made that up, and it worked, and it be dope. Like, he one of those type specials.
Definitely being in the ring with them young guys, is that also just like inspiring too? Because they at the, I guess you could say, the beginning of their careers. Is that also inspiring to seeing how good they are and just watching their come up?
Yeah, it's dope. Like even like Shakur. I remember Shakur when we was at the Olympic Training Center and I used to cut his hair. I used to cut his hair at the OTC when he was in the amateur still. We were on the national team together. So to see him going from there, and he was like young and goofy to like being a grown man and being married and having a baby and being a world champion on the pound for pound list now, it's crazy like seeing that. And be like, man, like that's super dope. It's super dope.
Yeah. And then really I just wanted to ask you, we had like a couple of fights, we always do this at the end of our shows, to ask you a couple of fights, see who you got.
Oh,
Yeah,
this.
so yeah, so I'm gonna start off with the most recent.
I'm a good fight analyst, so I'm good at analyzing like anything, but fights.
I don't know how.
Like, man,
we gotta put all the bias
all the time. They hit me up all the time. People hit me up all the time, like, hey, because I don't do sport betting, but people hit me up and be like, hey, I'm trying to bet. Who should I bet? What round? What should I do? And I be calling. They be like, hey, man, I got some money for you, man. With that call, but I told you.
So yeah, we'll start off with shit. It's fight week. Shit for Loma Haney. Who you got in that one?
So in a fight like that, how I pick that is I break it down on what they should do. So
right.
if Haney, because both of them, that's a toss-up fight.
Right.
If Haney has an off night, he can lose. If Haney's on point, he's supposed to win that fight. He's supposed to win that fight because, like I said, he's younger. He has power. He's big. He's tall. And Lomachenko usually have problem with fighters that can box as taller and longer like that. That's how he got dropped that one time by
Linares.
I
was about to say Linares. Haney gonna do that to him. But if Haney have an off night, then it's gonna be a long night for him. Because Lomachenko, he got that experience. He different, his movements, his feints, his him being southpaw and the things he do and his angles, his footwork. That's what he got to do. But he can't fight him like he fought Teofimo, waiting too much. He got to be first. He got to be setting up stuff. But if I had to bet right now, somebody gave me some money. Somebody said put some money on me. I'm picking Haney.
Yep, I kind of feel the same way. I'm in that same boat. And then
he gonna stop him or nothing like that. He gonna win.
You kind of speaking on the Haney and Loma fight. Do you kind of feel like that's a dangerous fight? Because I was telling people that it's a kind of a scary fight for Haney only because he's most people when they're the favorite just because we feel like they're the better fighter. It's just really that simple.
Right.
But in this case, technically he's the favorite because we're just assuming Lomachenko is not the same guy. Because if you do how the boxing world looked at Loma in 2018 versus how the boxing world looked at Devin Haney in 2023, Loma would be the favorite all day long.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a dangerous fight because we're not saying he the favorite because we think he more talented. We just saying he's not as talented as he used to be, which is why he the underdog.
Exactly. But it is a dangerous fight, but I don't believe there's such thing as a dangerous fight when you're undisputed. You're supposed to be fighting the best. If I can take and I can put and fix boxing, I think boxing, you should only be able to fight one up or one down. If you're ranked number 5, you should only be able to fight 4 or 6. If you have a belt, you should only be able to fight your mandatory number 1 guy or somebody else with a belt. You shouldn't be able to fight this whoever. It should be mandated like that. That's how it's supposed to be. I feel like for Lomachenko to have the belts before, he should get the chance to fight for all the belts again because he got them taken all in one before.
Then gotta ask this one without any bias. Bud Spence.
Yeah, see, I tell people all the time they think because Bud is my.
We gotta do the breakdown.
Yeah, everybody think because Bud is my dude that I'm going to pick him. I have a lot of friends that was in boxing that they ask me who's going to win. I'll be like, oh man, like I think I'm gonna tell them straight up. But Bud is different, man. Like Bud has too many attributes to bring to the ring that Spence is not going to have an answer for. Everybody defense that's on Spence side, they had the same defense. Oh, he's big. He gonna beat Bud down. Like it's always the same thing, but it's like, okay, what is he gonna do when that doesn't work? When his aggression, him coming forward, him falling forward with that double jab, straight left, don't work. What is he gonna do? When have you ever seen Spence adjust to somebody that's gonna, eat that up? Now on the counter hand, when Bud had different fighters that did different things, what do you see him do? You see him adjust. And not small adjustments, major adjustments. He like, dang, like he a whole totally different fighter.
Do you feel like? Because I always felt like the first 4 rounds of a Terrence Crawford fight, he like more susceptible to get hit.
Yeah.
With big shots, but after the by round 5, he usually picked up on about everything that you're gonna do.
Exactly, and that's
why
why
the first half of that fight would be like a dangerous first half because of them first 4 rounds. How it usually starts.
If it would be if Spence was a fast starter, if you look at Spence start, he's the same way. Spence get hit the most in his first 4 rounds. Mm-hmm. You look at anybody that was on the top level that Spence fought, the first couple rounds, he was either down or they was touching him up. Mm-hmm. When he fought what's the name? Bud had stopped from the UK. Kell Brook. When he fought the guy from Cuba that he just fought, he was always getting touched up in the first couple rounds. So it's like those first 4 rounds is going to be a toss up for both of them. That's when it's going to matter. When they both hit that switch, that's when it's going to matter. But you look at when Bud hit the switch and Errol hit that switch, who's the better fighter? When they hit that switch, who has more they bring to the table? Who's going to make the most adjustment? Who has a better ring IQ? I just feel like Bud is winning in all around.
I feel you. And then I just got one more for you, man. I feel like I gotta ask this one too. Shakur Tank, because obviously you've been in the gym with Shakur. You've seen what he can do. I'm not sure if you've been in the gym with Tank either, but I'm sure if you've met him or seen him spar or something of that sort. What did you think about that fight?
For right now, because I haven't seen anybody, give Shakur that test, but a lot of people said that about Bud, and he's coming up too, because he makes so good fighters look average.
Yeah.
The difference in that fight is that Tank does not have enough output to keep up with Shakur. Shakur, his timing and his speed, and he has a good output. He's always working off the jab, working, stepping around. It's hard to hit him. That's what's going to win that fight. And Tank will be looking for them 1 or 2 big shots, but he ain't going to land it with somebody like Shakur. Shakur ain't landing. You said what now?
No, I was saying I actually always felt like because Tank only throw 34 punches around.
Yeah.
I always felt like if I was Shakur trainer, I would actually tell him to stay at that 40, 45 punches around because, for one, you won't give him too many opportunities to counter you. And for 2, you actually accurate and sharp enough to win a round against somebody who throw only 34 punches around while you throw 45 punches around.
Yeah, but I wouldn't change that. I'll let Shakur keep working off of being first because that's what he do. But he's good with his defense after he's throwing his combination. He's so slick with it. Like he hit and like it's like I'll tell you, like sparring him, like just doing stuff, like you can't just easily hit that dude. Tank ain't gonna land those shots that he land on Rolly. He ain't gonna land those big shots like that.
Wait, did you catch that yesterday? That was crazy.
Man,
that was
man.
Sometimes I don't know.
Man.
like even before the fight happened, I was already shaking my head. Like, how do you take somebody who just got stopped in a previous fight
to a world champ,
to a world champion?
Just got a vacant opportunity, just like that.
That's wow, bro. It's so many other fighters who could have had that opportunity. That's all about,
Man,
like I said, it's all about who you know. And then
the fight before that could have been the championship fight. To be honest, the Kenny Sims and Ahmed, or whatever his name is, that could have been that fight. Honestly, and gave one of them a shot.
Yeah, but let me tell you why they did that though. They did that because they trying to get their money's worth off of Rolly because he's marketable. He goofy, he say stuff. He like the Adrian Broner. He say stuff. He like what he's like. He's easily marketable. Say like, okay, let's use that. Let's get him a title. That's what they did. That let's get him a title. Let's put him on the forefront.
To make it look even crazier is that Tony Weeks stopped it. That's like one of the most known refs to ever ref. Like that's not even like a non-known ref. That's what make it even more crazier. Like he one of the, if you ask a boxing fan to name 10 refs off the top of their head, he gonna be one of the guys that you name.
Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody say, people come to me all the time, hey, is boxing rigged? Is it like wrestling? I'm like, no, it's not. But that last night, that right there, that is the reason why people ask.
He too experienced for that. He way too experienced.
That's why people asked that question from last night. Last night is the reason why people asked that question, man. That was horrible. That was horrible.
No, that had me in my head too, like. Because, like I said, that's
corruption.
Tony Weeks too experienced. Like, there's no way to justify. He too experienced. I didn't see this man ref some of the biggest fights ever put on TV.
Right. Man, that was wild.
It's crazy. Like, I would take the not as experienced if it was another ref, but Tony Weeks, that's crazy.
Man, hey, I gotta fight. I gotta fight out. I want to see what y'all think about it. Who y'all think will go with Deontay Wilder and Usyk?
Usyk.
I got Wilder.
For me, I feel like it could go either way, only because Usyk's boxing is really high level, man. Yeah. But at the same time, if you catch a right hand,
right, dude,
this is how I feel. I feel like even in even in Deontay Wilder's most vulnerable moments we've ever seen him in, he still showed us that if you're going to beat me, you probably going to have to get up off that canvas a couple times and beat me. Yeah. You're not just going to go through 12 rounds. So when somebody picking Usyk, is he going to can he get up from a right hand? We only see one person get up. Like,
and I also don't think Usyk punch is big enough to, stop Wilder, because the only one who stopped him was,
Tyson Fury, right?
Tyson Fury, and he bigger than Wilder. So I'm like, I don't see Usyk I don't see Usyk doing it.
I don't see the power kind of transferring from that cruiserweight to fighting a 6'8" guy. You know what I mean?
Believe it or not, I feel like Usyk got a better chance to beat Tyson than Wilder, in my opinion. Just because Tyson always used to say like one of his most difficult fights was when he fought the cruiserweight, just because that was the first time that he wasn't the fastest fighter and the slickster and the most skilled and all that. So Usyk is probably on paper one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time, one of the most skilled cruiserweights of all time as well.
I would like to see Anthony Joshua fight Deontay Wilder too, and
Ruiz.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like AJ. I don't know. I would probably be forced to pick everybody to beat AJ right now. He just looking a little what they call it, gunshot.
Yeah, if we had to pick, and then I was thinking he was gonna look better after the Derrick James. Obviously it's only one camp too. It's only one camp, but I did think he was gonna show some improvement from his prior Usyk match, and that last fight just didn't look like it.
I ain't gonna lie though, I never had belief in Anthony Joshua. I seen Anthony Joshua when I was at 2012 Olympics. When I was on the Olympic team. That's when I met him and seen him, and he wasn't good then to me. I'm like, how did he win? How is he winning these fights? And I felt like
I will say he did like had one of the he did become world champion like the luckiest way ever, because the guy Charles Martin he beat. If you seen how Charles Martin became champion,
that's what I'm saying.
It was like all this. I don't even know what happened. Was something wild happened where they was forced to give Charles Martin the belt, basically, to make a long story short. And then that's how
but I ain't lie, that whole 2012 squad was like questionable. Like the whole 2012 team in boxing was questionable.
Who else was on? What's your take on Big Baby?
The young one or the one who pop hot?
Yeah, the young one.
Oh, he good. I just feel like he gotta be careful because he get caught with shots in between a lot of stuff. Like I feel like his age play a big factor in that. Like he got to mature a little bit in the ring before he step up to big fights. Because I see he do stuff and he believes he's so much far ahead and those stuff won't happen to him. But he be getting caught with shots that he shouldn't get caught with. And somebody on an elite level, you get caught with some shots like that, it'd be a horrible night.
No, definitely.
But he has a skill. He has a skill to be a top heavyweight. I just feel like he's got to mature a little bit more in the ring.
You got any more fight predictions, bro?
Nope, I'm all good. I appreciate you for coming on, though. You one of the ones who was waiting on all week too, dog. So we really appreciate you for hopping on with us, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely open to it, man. Let me know if y'all need another one anytime soon, or maybe after I get a fight schedule and stuff, I'll put it out there, and then we can do a follow up from there.
Hell yeah.
We're definitely gonna have you back. We're gonna bring everybody back, man. We just now getting started. We've been had our social media platform, but we never went outside of the social media platform. We just now getting into the YouTube situation and all that. So we definitely gonna have you back, and we definitely was excited all week since you said.
Because this next one go through, it's gonna be big, man. I ain't gonna spoil it right now, but it's gonna be big. I'm hoping it go through.
No, definitely. We definitely got to do either a pre-fight interview or a post-fight interview.
Both, shoot.
Yeah, both. See, I think both. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Then let the people know where they can find you at, bro.
Hey, man. Yeah. So, like I was telling y'all before, man. I'm multi-talented. So much stuff you can follow me for, even comedy. You can follow me on Instagram, Steven Nelson Boxing. Twitter, So Cold Nelson, and then on Facebook, Steven So Cold Nelson. Just follow me, man. It's only a click.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. My God, no. Thank y'all for listening. We just had Steven So Cold Nelson on the podcast.